Hello, television family. We're back on this Thursday, 9th day of January 2025. I'm Dan Kuntz. I'm your host. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's spittling, kind of a misty snow, if there is such a thing as a misty snow. And if there isn't, I just made it up. It's going on right now. Very light snow. It's not really sticking to anything. If you don't park your car in a carport or a garage, you won't have to scrape your windshield. I think the windshield wipers will take care of that. But a little bit of super light, puffery, misty snow is coming down right now. It'll taper off in about an hour or so. We'll be dry for the rest of the day. Lots of clouds and foggy and very dense fog too. That's the other thing I noticed this morning. Fog, at least here in the Wenatchee Valley, is quite dense. As am I, come to think of it. It's 30 degrees in the big city. Weather is coming up. It's going to be, the weather's always coming up. The weather forecast, let me be more specific, is coming up. Just kind of another gray, cloudy day. Things are looking pretty interesting on Friday. A little morning rain snow mix, and then it tapers off, and then a chance maybe for a little bit more late in the afternoon. Eventually, you'll see some sunshine. A good-looking weekend coming our way. There's a lot of news to get to. It was a busy day in the newsroom yesterday, and we got a lot to touch on there. In sports, we'll preview the Kraken. We got some high school scores for you. Let you know how Haley Van Lith and TCU did last night against Kansas. We got some sports to touch on. It is Thursday. Pause for pets. It is Squash. Yes, that's the name of the dog. Squash the dog needs a home. We'll check in with our friends at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and we're going to replay the interview I did on Tuesday with Austin Drade, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. They have won 6 of their last 8. Not only are they're playing some pretty good hockey right now, but they're beating some good teams. They're not beating the cellar dwellers. They're beating the teams that are ahead of them in the Western Conference, and that's what you want to do. You want to work your way up the standings. The trade deadline is tomorrow. They've made some significant personnel and roster moves, so we'll talk to Austin. Of course, Guns and Hoses, one of the biggest nights of the year for the Wenatchee Wild, is coming up on Saturday night when they take on the Spokane Chiefs. Got a slide to show for you from the National Weather Service, and it looks something like this. Winter weather is going to return on Friday. Now you can see that kind of opaque shaded area there in pink. That's going to be that kind of a wintry mix. It'll be snow in the mountains, a little bit of light snow to the north of us up in the Omak, Okanagan, Oroville area, a little bit of snow in the Methow Valley. They've had a lot this year. But out in the Wenatchee Valley, Chelan, Waterville, and out in the Columbia Basin, kind of a little bit of everything. Some light snow, some light rain, some light freezing rain is possible. The freezing rain is going to be relegated, they tell us, out into the Columbia Basin on both sides of the I-90 corridor. We probably won't get any freezing rain here in the Wenatchee Valley, and it's not going to last very long because we're going to be pretty mild tomorrow. So our timeline as far as in the Wenatchee Valley for precipitation, kind of a rain-snow mix between 6 and 9 tomorrow morning. 6 to 9 a.m. tomorrow morning is our best chance of getting kind of a rain-snow, even maybe some pockets of freezing rain by 10 o'clock or so on Friday morning. We'll be done with it by Friday afternoon. We'll have sunshine from the National Weather Service. Let's get right to it. What do we have for you today? Again, kind of misty snow. I guess that's really the best way to put it right now. It will taper off by the time this show is over. We think maybe about 9 or so. Only going to get to about 35. For the record, that's what we had yesterday. 35. Of course, we didn't have any sunshine yesterday. And by the way, today will be 95 seconds longer than yesterday. We'll have 8 hours and 44 minutes of daylight today. For tonight, just a slight chance of some light flurries. Snow level is going to be up there about 3,200 feet. We'll get down to 31 for the overnight low. Friday, as I already mentioned, some clouds in the morning. A rain-snow mix ends about 9 o'clock, and then the snow level goes up to about 3,300 feet. Gradual clearing by the late afternoon hours, close to sunset, 4:30 or so. We'll have some sunshine, and that's going to warm us up to 41 degrees. This is a very fast-moving system that's coming through on Friday. Winds are going to be picking up a little bit Friday night as the system exits our area. It'll have fairly clear skies. We'll get down to 31 for the overnight low. Then a nice weekend. Saturday sunshine, about 43, give or take a couple. A few clouds Saturday night, 30 for the overnight low. Mostly sunny on Sunday, and a high near 40. Mostly sunny on Monday. Slightly cooler. No snow, no rain in the forecast as we start getting into the weekend. So once we get through the Friday morning rain-snow mix, that's it as far as precipitation until at least Wednesday of next week. All in all, outside of the fairly mild temperatures, our normal high temperature this time of the year is 32. We're going to see temperatures above normal and pretty quiet, all things considered. All right, after a quick break, we'll come back and do the news. You're watching a Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
I'm Jim Heinlein, and I've been working with you all for about 20 years now. And it's safe to say I've seen most every situation as it relates to annual election period. This AEP is going to be like a tsunami. It's not tall, but it's huge in effect. And when the water retreats, you're going to see the damage to those who didn't react properly. So what is a proper reaction? Well, call a local insurance professional like Springwater Insurance. We have already developed a strategy for those of you who need a change. Give us a call at 509-888-2600.
It's kind of a misty snow. I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. It's snowing very lightly here in the Wenatchee Valley. It's 30 degrees. Snow tapers off. Just clouds and gray today. Fog, too. A pretty dense fog. We'll top off in the mid-30s. We'll have a rain-snow mix on Friday morning. Sunshine Friday afternoon. Bountiful sunshine and very mild coming up this weekend. It's 8 minutes after the hour. East Wenatchee police arrested a fugitive from California this week after their department canine allegedly found evidence of narcotics in his vehicle. 39-year-old Dalen James Isaacs was wanted on a warrant charging him with fleeing from probation in Santa Barbara County back in November. Isaacs was most recently convicted there of domestic violence, drug possession, and unlawful possession of a firearm. An East Wenatchee police sergeant pulled his vehicle over on Monday in the 700 block of 3rd Street Southeast. During that arrest, police dog Maverick was called in to sniff the vehicle for controlled substances, and police say that's what Maverick did. 21 grams of fentanyl, more than 100 fentanyl pills, 52 grams of methamphetamine allegedly found in the car. Police also allegedly found 3 .22 caliber handguns. Isaacs now faces extradition back to California along with possible local drug and weapons charges. Well, the city of Wenatchee is still requesting that all sewer customers in the Old Station, Chatham Hill, and Sunny Slope area to continue to limit the amount of water they discharge into the sewer system. The city discovered a broken sewer main caused a sinkhole about 20 feet deep in the area of Eisenhart Avenue and Old Station Road. They found that on Tuesday, according to our media partner, the Wenatchee World. Well, a city press release said a portion of the broken main was repaired, but additional damage was discovered yesterday. So the city is requesting to limit sewer discharge. It's going to remain in effect until further notice. So they want you to turn off your water when you're shaving or brushing your teeth, take short showers instead of baths, flush solid waste but not liquid waste, and use paper plates and cups to cut down on your dishwashing. The Wenatchee School District is launching a campaign to replace its educational programs and operations levy. It'll be on the ballot on February 11th. The levy represents 12% of the district's total budget, and it will expire at the end of the year. Key programs and staffing funded by the levy includes athletics, transportation for students, music and arts programs, and special education services. The proposed levy rate is $2.20 per $1,000 of assessed property value. That's a 10-cent increase from the 2021 rate, which the district says is necessary to keep up with inflation. The district says if the levy does not pass, the Wenatchee School District could face reducing $20.2 million in levy-funded programs, services, and staffing. The Lake Chelan Water Resiliency and Efficiency Project secured $9 million in federal funding to help safeguard Chelan's water infrastructure. Chelan's water supply relies entirely on a single booster pump station, which means if it fails, it could disrupt daily water supply and emergency firefighting efforts. It's a $19 million project. It'll develop a 1 million gallon reservoir that will include a new booster pump system, pressure reducing stations, and transmission piping. U.S. Representative Kim Schreier and Senators Patty Murray and Maria Cantwell supported the inclusion of the project in the Thomas R. Carper Water Resources Development Act of last year. That act, which was designed to reduce flooding, improve ports, and restore ecosystems, was signed into law by President Joe Biden 5 days ago. Speaking of Chelan, the wooden boardwalk at Riverfront Park in Chelan is closed. Look at that. A bunch of trees fell down over the weekend. According to a press release from the Chelan County PUD, the damage spans about 20 to 30 feet in the middle of the wooden boardwalk. The PUD said it believes that soil saturation in the hill above the boardwalk destabilized the hillside, and that caused the trees to fall down, as they are prone to do. Over the next few weeks, the PUD plans to investigate the stability of that hillside, the integrity of the remaining trees, and the structure of the boardwalk itself. There is a temporary detour via South Emerson Street. It's there while the PUD determines the scope of repairs. And then, of course, they got to fix what's broken. And the Chelan and Douglas counties are expanding the reach of their third annual Homeless Point in Time Count. It's going to happen later this month. The Point in Time Count is a one-day event that surveys people experiencing homelessness to demonstrate the need for homeless housing services. This year, the count will be held at 3 locations. The Lighthouse Christian Ministries in Wenatchee, the Chelan County Fire District number 3 station out on the Chumstick Highway in Leavenworth, and the Chelan Valley Hope location in Chelan. The expanded reach aims to identify people living unhoused in the more rural parts of Chelan and Douglas counties. This year's count is slated for January 30th. The 2024 count recorded 141 people living unsheltered, which was an increase of 20 people from the 2023 event, and 341 people were recorded staying in homeless shelters, which was a decrease of 27 people from the 2023 survey. That's the news at 13 minutes after the hour. If you're interested in knowing what's going on around here, and we think you do, watch the news tonight with Grant and Eric. At 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, our crack news team will be gathering the news, writing the news, disseminating the news, deciding what is news, and then it's yours at 5, 6, and 10 on television. And if that doesn't work, or you want to watch the news at 7:39 in the evening, all you got to do is go to our homepage, NCWLIFE.com. It'll be posted there. Our Facebook page, our YouTube page. We try to make it as accessible as possible for you to watch the news. And if you're out and about and you see something that is newsworthy, you let us know about it. You send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Sports, the Obscura holiday. Today in history, some celebrity birthdays. An opinion from my Mad Dog McNaughty. We're eating out with Mike today. Pause for Pets and Austin Andrade. It's a busy Thursday. Don't go anywhere.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
Let your kindness shine bright at Boswell's. This holiday season, donate $50 or more to charity and save $400 on stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans. And save $200 on any stressless recliner, home office chair, and each seat of a stressless sofa. Plus, take $200 off 4 stressless dining chairs now. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
Who's trying to stretch their budget this January? That's pretty much all of us. That's why Abby's is offering this giant pizza that can feed up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 hungry people for less than $27. Now, that's an Abby's budget stretching deal. Worried about a no-fun January? Not at Abby's. Dine on our Bacon Cheddar Special. It's delicious and loaded with toppings and real cheese. Plus, it's on sale, and the kids can play some video games. Enjoy fun January at your local Abby's.
16 minutes after the hour in sports, the Kraken are on a 5-game road trip. It begins tonight. They are in Columbus to take on the Blue Jackets. Kraken not playing particularly good hockey right now. They sit at 7th in the Pacific. The Blue Jackets have 42 points. That puts them 4th in the Metro Division. They'll drop the puck at 4 o'clock. You can watch it on Kong TV. Men's college basketball last night. San Diego was pesky. They just wouldn't go away, but eventually Gonzaga pulled away in the second half, and they won. The 18th ranked Zags over San Diego 93-80. Women's college basketball last night. Haley Van Lith poured in 19 points, chipped in 6 assists, a couple of rebounds. Number 11 TCU beat Kansas on the road, which is not easy to do, but they beat them by 7. The final there was 80-73. There's one game on the schedule tonight at women's college basketball. The Cougars will take on St. Mary's on the road. You can watch that on ESPN Plus at 6:30. I don't have it. More games, though, in the men's college basketball schedule. 3 of note. The Huskies will be in East Lansing, Michigan to take on the Spartans. That's at 5 o'clock this afternoon on the Big Ten Network. Pacific is in Pullman to take on Washington State, 6:30 on ESPN Plus. And Eastern Washington will be at Portland State. That's a 7 o'clock tip-off tonight again on ESPN Plus. Well, here we go. We're down to the Final 4 in football, if you will. And after tonight, we'll be down to 3. The Capital One Orange Bowl, Miami Gardens, Florida, at 4:30 on ESPN. Number 7 Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the 6th seed Penn State Nittany Lions. The winner will take on the winner of the Cotton Bowl, which is tomorrow, between Ohio State and Texas. And of course, the winner of those 2 games will play for the national championship January 20th in Atlanta. Prep girls basketball scoreboard. Pateras had no problems with Antioch last night, 61-29, and the Toppenish girls had no problems with Quincy, 64-15. In the boys' side of it, Pateras completed the sweep in the second half of the doubleheader. In boys basketball, it was Pateras over Antioch, 68-59, and Quincy beat Toppenish 69-67. So Quincy splits with Toppenish, but Pateras sweeps Antioch. The prep girls basketball schedule for tonight: Easton will be at Cascade at 5:45, Liberty Christian at Moses Lake Christian at 6 o'clock, and Cascade Christian Academy travels to Wilson Creek. They'll tip off at 6 o'clock. These are all doubleheaders, which means the boys basketball schedule, just like the girls, only an hour and a half later. Easton at Cascade at 7:15, Liberty Christian and Moses Lake Christian at 7:30. Same deal for Cascade Christian Academy and Wilson Creek. And finally, coming up on Saturday, we will have our cameras, and better yet, our camera people at Eastmont High School. The Wildcats will host the Davis Pirates. The Pirate girls are ranked number 1 in the WIAA's RPI index. They're coming off a couple of losses at the Portland Holiday Classic. The Eastmont girls are playing pretty good. They've won 5 in a row. Grant Olson will have the call. That's at 4:30. Then the Eastmont boys will take on Davis afterwards at 6 o'clock. By the way, the Davis boys are ranked 4th in the state in this week's RPI index. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 20 minutes after the hour. If you are so inclined, you can celebrate the following obscure holidays. Today is Play God Day. I recommend that you don't. I mean, what's the point? It's National Balloon Ascension Day today. I'm assuming National Balloon Descension Day is tomorrow. It's National Choreographers Day. Hi, Pam. It's National Static Electricity Day. It's National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, which is all cool. But for whatever reason, on January 9th, we celebrate National Apricot Day. Apricots, aren't they harvested in mid to late July? But if we want to give the apricot some love, they decided this was the day for doing it. I love apricots. I mean, who doesn't like apricots? About 95% of all the apricots grown in this country commercially are produced in California. California grows almost all of the apricots that are sold to grocery stores. Apricot trees will produce fruit once they're mature enough to start producing fruit. They'll last about 20 to 25 years. I had a neighbor whose apricot tree was 50 years old and kept producing apricots. Apricots, as you might imagine, are related to peaches. Apricots and peaches are, of course, both members of the rose family. Apricot trees will grow anywhere from 12 to 15 feet high, and apricots should always be stored at room temperature. No need to refrigerate apricots. It's actually not good for them. Happy National Apricot Day. It is today. It's 22 minutes after the hour. Guess that flag. Yep, we've been doing a lot of states lately as they join the Union. That's one of the better flags because they didn't just take their state seal, put it on a piece of cloth and call it good. I'll let you look at that a little bit longer, see if you can figure out what that is the state flag of. That is the state flag of the Nutmeg State, the Provisions State, the Land of Steady Habits, the Constitution State. It is Connecticut. Becomes the 5th state to ratify the Constitution, joined the Union January 9th, 1788. That makes Connecticut 237 years old. Yeah, they have 4 nicknames. Usually 1 is enough, but Connecticut has 4. The state song in Connecticut, Yankee Doodle. They didn't put a lot of thought into that. In 1800, which was just 12 years after Connecticut joined the Union, only about 10% of the state of Connecticut was forested. Now about 60% of the state of Connecticut is forested. Keep in mind, Connecticut is, after all, pretty small. Connecticut's per capita personal income is about $80,000 per person. That's a lot. That's the 3rd highest in America. Keep in mind, a lot of people who live in southeast Connecticut live in southeast Connecticut, but they actually work in New York City. It's a pretty short commute. The national average per capita income is about $50,000. So yeah, they make pretty good money in Connecticut. The only president of the United States to be born in Connecticut, and this surprised me, George W. Bush, the only president born in the state of Connecticut. And even though there are 8 counties in Connecticut, there is no county government. And there hasn't been county government for 65 years in Connecticut. They got rid of all county governments back in 1960. They don't have county sheriffs or anything like that. Law enforcement is handled by the state police. They do have 8 counties, and they exist specifically for, well, the census. And that's really about it. So they have 8 counties in Connecticut, but no county governments at all. Happy 237th birthday to the Constitution State. The longest winning streak in Major League sports history, the Los Angeles Lakers, who won on October 31st, Halloween Day, 1971, and they didn't lose again until January 9th, 1972, 53 years ago today in Milwaukee. The Bucks beat the Lakers 120-104, which ended the Lakers' 33-game winning streak, which is still the longest winning streak in Major League sports history. That might not ever be broken. Well, it's been around for 53 years. The Super Bowl's been around for almost 60 years, and we start getting into Super Bowls now. January 9th, 1977, 48 years ago today, at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, the Raiders beat the Minnesota Vikings 32-14. Super Bowl XI, Super Bowl 11. This is the earliest Super Bowl played by date. And now, of course, all the Super Bowls are played in mid-February. Now, the game kicked off at 12:47 local time. That is the earliest kickoff in the history of the Super Bowl, and it was still daylight when the game ended. They don't do that anymore either. And this is the only Super Bowl of all of the Super Bowls that the national anthem was not performed. Instead, Vicky Carr sang America the Beautiful, which is probably why I like Vicky Carr. Super Bowl 11 on this date 48 years ago today. And happy birthday to the iPhone. Apple CEO Steve Jobs introduces the original iPhone at Macworld in San Francisco, January 9th, 2007. It took him 2.5 years to develop in total and complete secrecy, and then he unveiled it to the world on this date in January. It was available to sale for the public to buy a few months later. In fact, just about, I think it was about a year ago, an original iPhone in its original box, unopened, sold at auction for over $100,000. The original iPhone that you see there, they sold over 6 million of them before it was discontinued in July of 2008. How many iPhones have been sold in total since the iPhone was rolled out on this date 18 years ago? About 2.5 billion. I'm not an expert, but that's a lot. Let's do some birthdays. We have 3 heavenly birthdays. Well, I don't know about Nixon. We always do presidents. There he is. Richard Milhous Nixon, the 37th president of the United States, born in the state in 1913, died in April of 1994 at the age of 81. The only person to be elected vice president twice and president twice. He was the first president to visit all 50 states. He went to Duke Law School, and he was so into his studies. He was such an insular and private man, and all of those long hours of uninterrupted study in the law library at Duke University earned him the affectionate nickname of his fellow students, Iron Butt. During World War II, he was in the United States Navy. He was a provisioning officer, and when he wasn't working, he played poker, high-stakes poker, and he was really good. He had a basic theory of poker: never, ever bluff. And he won $10,000. You think at home with him, and that $10,000 playing high-stakes poker in the Navy helped pay for his first congressional campaign. And of course, he is the first and only president to voluntarily leave his office. Bart Starr, the legendary Bart Starr, born in the state in 1934, the most valuable player of the first 2 Super Bowls, Pro Football Hall of Fame, class of 1977. He has the second highest postseason passer rating of any quarterback in NFL history. And if you were in the playoffs, you wanted this guy to be your quarterback. His playoff record as a quarterback of the Green Bay Packers was 9-1. Not bad. Bart Starr, born in the state in 1934. And Gilligan, Bob Denver, the title character in Gilligan's Island, born in the state in 1935, passed away 20 years ago at the age of 70. We got some living birthdays. Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Jimmy Page is 81 years old today. Of course, he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice because he was in the Yardbirds in the class of 1992, and then Led Zeppelin was inducted in 1995. Rolling Stone listed Jimmy Page number 3 on their list of the greatest guitarists of all time. Here's a guy I'm sure you heard of, J.K. Simmons, the actor. I first got to know him on Law & Order. He was great in Oz. He was a really good bad guy in Oz. The Closer, the Spider-Man trilogy, and of course he won every award there was to win back in 2014 for his role in Whiplash, including the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. He is 70 years old today. Dave Matthews is 58 years old today. I've seen him at the Gorge and George a couple of times. During the period from 2000 to 2010, the Dave Matthews Band sold more tickets and earned more money than any other musical act. They had a great run a while back. Dave Matthews is 58 years old today, and the Princess of Wales, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, is 43 years old today. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They're rolling out their cash for clunkers program. Maybe you have an older house and the HVAC system was retrofitted, so they put the HVAC system in and ran all the ducts and stuff after the house was built, like 20 years later. Maybe it's time for a new HVAC system if it's on the fritz. Call Alpine Air, ask about the Cash for Clunkers program. Rip out your old one, get in a new one, and save a bunch of money. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Still to come, we're eating out with Mike Magnotti, which is odd because Mike is cheap. Austin Andrade for the Wenatchee Wild. We'll talk about the weekend that was and the weekend that's coming up. But first, Squash the dog needs a home. It's Paws for Pets.
Hi, I'm Corley with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, Animal Care Manager, and this is Squash. Squash is our 4-year-old, super affectionate. We think Catahoula leopard dog mix. Hard to say. It's our best guess. She looks really great. She's super healthy. And we've already spayed her and microchipped and new paw. Queen bill of health from the vet. She has all her vaccines. Yeah, and she's a beautiful girl. She came to us as a stray a few weeks ago, and she was pretty scared at first. You know, it's a scared world being lost out here, and being here is kind of hard too, but she's been working so hard on it. She's been part of our Heroic Hound program and learning how to be brave, and she's making such good progress. As you can see, she's really come out of her shell. Yes, and we love her. Because she's a little shy, we think, oh, good girl. We think she'd be best in kind of a quiet home, maybe just an adult couple, someone who can just, you know, really give her the slow, gentle attention that she needs. She seems to get along well with our dogs here. She can be dog selective. So if you do have a dog, we always recommend that you bring them down here with you so that the two dogs can meet and see if that's a good fit too. Yes. She loves hot dogs. She will do tricks for them. She's really smart. She knows how to sit really well and give paw. And she knows down. And we're working on stay. And I think she'd pick that up pretty quick with the right hot dog incentive. Yeah. She doesn't seem to chase birds from what we've seen, which is kind of nice. So that may say something about her ability to be with cats, but we can't guarantee anything with that because we don't know. But just all in all, she's just a really good, kind of mellow energy girl. Really loyal to the people she loves. And yeah, I think she'd just be a great addition to a nice calm home. She loves going on her walks, and she's a very polite walker. She doesn't seem to pull for us, which is really nice because she's kind of a bigger girl. If you'd like to come meet Squash, we are open Thursday through Tuesday from 12:30 to 6, or you can make an appointment online for Wednesdays, and we would love to have you come down.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from Les.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese blintz, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I recently saw a sign for a restaurant that said family restaurant. What does that mean, I wondered? What's a non-family restaurant? Well, Hooters, I guess. I guess what Hooters sign should say, men who think that oogling half-naked girls who despise them is manly restaurant. That's okay. Well, how about an eat and be miserable because you think it's good for you, i.e. a vegan restaurant? Ooh, that's going to get me in trouble. But how about a cardiac delight restaurant, a.k.a. a steak joint? Or a sandwich place that advertises itself as non-celiacs only restaurant? Maybe family restaurant means plan on trying to eat while listening to other people's kids screaming restaurant. No, I don't know. Hey, look, it's getting too expensive to eat out anyway. Oh, gosh. Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
A small-town holiday wouldn't be complete without a visit to an original American hardware store in downtown Chelan. Kelly's Ace Hardware has been serving the greater Chelan area for nearly 100 years. Let them take you back to a time where personal service and quality products went hand in hand.
You're invited to celebrate Winterfest at Lake Chelan. Enjoy sparkling lights, local wine tasting, and fun for all ages. It's a great time to start a new holiday tradition at Washington's Winter Wonderland. More information at lakechelan.com.
It's been an interesting week, to say the least, in the world of Wenatchee Wild hockey. The gentleman to my left you may have met or not. This is his first time he's ever done the show. Austin Dryday, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. Good weekend.
Really good weekend.
Got shut out by Vancouver. That happens.
Yeah.
3-0 on Friday. And then we came back on Saturday in the Rose City. Kicked a little Portland butt, 6-3. And then speaking of butt kicking, 10-2 over the Tri-City Americans on Sunday afternoon. We'll get to all of that and talk more specific about the weekend and the upcoming games. But first of all, we're bumping up against the trade deadline, which is what, by the way?
Which is Friday.
Friday. Which means after Friday, your rosters are locked in. There are emergency circumstances. If you have like both of your goalies get hurt, you can do that kind of stuff. Outside of that, after Friday, that's it. You can't make any more roster moves. And Bliss Littler made 3 significant roster moves last week. We'll go one at a time. Kenta Isegai, the great Japanese-born player, is now a member of the Victoria Royals. Yep. Talk about that move.
Yeah, so we moved Kenta to Victoria, but we picked up several draft picks, some good draft picks. Got a second rounder, got a third rounder out of that. And Morgan Hackman picked up a forward who's been playing over in Nanaimo with the BCHL team. We were able to get him in and get him started in the WHL here this past weekend. Got to make his WHL debut in Vancouver on Friday night, which was nice. But we also picked up Nick Coring. We picked up the rights to him. He's still playing high school hockey over in Eden Prairie. He's played a little bit with the Muskegon Lumberjacks in the USHL, but he's a projected draft pick coming up this summer. And the WHL draft picks that we picked up, that was a significant haul for Kenta. And between those trades, Kenta and Daniel were continuing to pick up some more draft picks. We're picking up the rights to NCAA committed players who have a chance to come here and make a big impact when they get here.
Kenta Isegai was going to be done at the end of the year anyway. He was going to age out. Same deal with our goalie, Daniel Hauser. You mentioned Daniel briefly.
Yep.
Talk about that deal. He's now a member of the Calgary Hitmen.
Yeah, he's headed on to Calgary. We picked up Maxim Miranov, who's a Russian-born forward. Has been one of their more consistent scorers for the last few years. But we also picked up the rights to a couple of other guys. Mason Moe is over in Madison in the USHL. Very high-end player. He's expected to go in the second or third round of the draft coming up this summer. We've got his rights, so if and when he comes to the WHL, he'll come to Wenatchee. And then Mark Jomo is a 2009-born goaltender. We've got his signing rights in the WHL. He's only 15 years old, but he's playing AAA hockey down in the Dallas area. He's from Flower Mound, Texas, so he's right in the backyard there. But for as young as he is, he's an outstanding goaltender, and you can never have enough good goaltending, and we're kind of looking to the future with that and trying to make sure that's tied up well in advance before these guys start coming in, 16, 17 years old, and looking to make an impact with us.
Well, best of luck to Daniel Hauser in his future endeavors. We got rid of a goalie. We have a goalie that's coming in, but he can't play for us yet. So what is our goalie situation right now?
So right now, Brendan G is our number one goaltender. We actually called up a player from our 18U Academy team. Anthony Gunung got to travel with us as an emergency backup over the weekend. That move to bring in a second permanent goaltender. Bliss is still working on that one, but I know he'll have that one wrapped up by the end of the weekend. It was great to have Anthony on the road trip here this week, and it's nice to be able to talk about those call-ups now as well, because with the NCAA ruling back in November, it used to be if you played in a WHL game, you were mentioned in the lineup, you're promoted as part of the team for the night, it could mess with your NCAA eligibility because you're in the Western Hockey League now, even if it's only for one night. Now with the NCAA ruling, we can talk about him, we can promote him, we can chat him up, and not have to worry about his eligibility, and the academy team can promote him as well.
And then one more move late last week. We made a deal with the Pats. Talk about that.
Yeah, Ty Spencer brings a scoring punch to our team, but he brings some leadership to our team as well, which losing Kenta Isegai and Daniel Hauser, not that we're short on leadership in the room, but having another 2004-born player who can be an impact player for us, that'll be a big help, and we were able to pick him up for a draft pick further down the road as well. So to be able to bring in Ty Spencer, Not sure how dynamic he's been for Regina, but he's been very consistent for them over the years, and they've looked to him for leadership on and off the ice. He'll be a big addition to this group.
Bliss is the general manager. He, in the end, is the one who's going to be pulling the trigger on these deals, but he does not do this without consulting the coach. And most importantly, he works hand in hand with the scouts. The scouts are out there not just studying film, but they're going to games.
Absolutely.
And then they're going to call Bliss up and say, there's this guy here, and he's good, and we got to figure out a way to put him into the Wild fold. All of that works together, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a well-oiled team between Bliss and Chris Clark, who's our associate GM. All of our scouts, Lee Mendelson's watching games from all around the league, and keeping an eye on our prospects and kids that we might want to draft coming up this summer. They've got a lot on their plate, especially right now. I'm trying to stay out of their way as much as I can and help get the word out on any deals that they do make. But it's a busy time for them right now. But it's a longer strategy for this group right now, and they're executing it really well.
The deadline is Friday, so there's probably going to be 2 or 3 more moves in the hopper, perhaps, before close of business on Friday?
There may be a few more moves. We're working on, obviously, whether that's a signing, whether that's a trade, whatever that looks like, to bring in a permanent goaltender. And there may be a couple more moves along the way before this one's wrapped up. Every team around the league is making moves right now. I know our fans have really kind of honed in on the moves that we made here this past week and try to balance that with, guys that they've loved watching, guys that they've gotten used to being around and gotten to know, and having to balance that with the future of the team and building a better mousetrap here in Wenatchee at Town Toyota Center. But every team is making those moves right now. We've seen Calgary really go for it this year. They picked up Sawyer Mineo from Seattle, who's one of their top players. Just got back from World Juniors. They picked him up for a package of between draft picks and actual players, probably 6-7 pieces. So every team, even here in the U.S. division, they're all going through that right now. Our fans are not alone.
3 road games in 3 days. Friday, Vancouver got the better of us 3-0. Then we went to Portland and beat a very good team, the Winterhawks. We beat them 6-3 in Portland, I might add. And the Tri-City Americans are a very good team. And we went into the Toyota Center in Kennewick and kicked their butt on Sunday. We have highlights of all 10 goals. Believe it or not, it doesn't take very long. Austin, as usual, I'm going to ask you to use the monitor here in the studio. For you folks at home, please use your televisions.
Tri-City and Wenatchee on a Sunday afternoon. Wild coming out of a 6-3 win in a building where it's very tough to win a hockey game. Tough battle on the wall, but Evan Friesen's going to find this one out front. Not on the first one. Going to need the second effort, but it pays off. Just a couple minutes into the game, take another look. Miss on the first, make on the second, and the Wild lead this one 1-0. That one on the power play. This one on the power play, a 5-on-4. A 5-minute major. Deegan McMillan helping to set this one up, and Zane Saab finishes it off in front to make it 2-0. Carter McAdams out of the game with a charging major to set that one up. This one a 4-on-4, and the Wild make it happen anyway. A quick scramble in front of the net, and Miles Cooper pushes it in for a 3-0 game. We are barely 12 minutes into this one.
And at this point, did Tri-Cities pull their goalie?
It was the next one.
Next one?
Spoiler
okay.
alert. There's the next one. Coming the other way. Odd man rush. 3-on-2. Am I going left? Am I going left? Yep, it's coming from the left. And it's coming from Lucas Sherbina. Glove side. Hold on to that one. That one a 4-0 game. And now Nathan Preston steps in. Tri-City would not be held down forever. They would get it to 4-1, but the Wild fired ahead, and this is where Evan Friesen took over. Just 2.5 minutes into period number 2. Sean Rios off the wall, and Evan Friesen to the back of the net. Takeaway, center ice, turn and burn. Evan Friesen.
This is an awesome goal. Look at this.
Whoop, gets Nathan Preston committed to his left. I'm not going left. I'm going around. Backside. Hat trick. Throw those hats. Hats off. 6-0 Wenatchee, or 6-1 Wenatchee. It would be 7-1 though. Shot from Reed Andreessen. Wait, bing, off the post. And Evan Friesen right there, his 4th goal of the game.
And Texas hat trick.
The Texas hat trick. Everything is bigger than Texas. And the Wild lead 7-2 at recess. Coming the other way, Evan Friesen might have been able to get a 5th goal on this one. But why? Maybe when you can find Sean Rios for the sure thing. 8-2, final minutes, and the Wild add on. Maddox McHaggerty, right wing. Secondary break. Look at that one. All sorts of defenders at a screen to make it 9-2. And then Lucas Sherbina. We said hang on to the last one because he's going to go left wing, glove side on Nathan Preston this time to make it a 10-2 final score. First time in the Wenatchee era that this WHL club has posted 10 goals in a game.
What happened? I mean, Tri-City is good, and we beat them badly. Were they just not prepared to play? What happened?
That's what happens when you play as a team, and this group, the Wild group, played as a team. Their compete was excellent. Their discipline was really, really good all throughout the weekend. Drew some big penalties, obviously, against Portland and Tri-City. Took advantage of a lot of power plays. One thing, I didn't notice it on the weekend, but somebody else brought it up to me yesterday, was in losing Kenta Isogai in that deal. Kenta was one of the quarterbacks of our power play. And so, at some point, a couple, 3 passes into the power play, the puck is going to go to him. He's going to get a look. If he gets a look, he's going to take a shot. With him out, that randomizes the power play. It jumbles up the defense. Okay, give it 2 or 3 passes. It's going to go back to Kenta, and it might move back around. But at some point, it's going to go through him. Now, where's the puck going? It randomizes the offense, but it jumbles up the defense. They're trying to cover everything now. Opens up passing lanes, opens up shooting lanes, and it opens up a lot of opportunities. And these guys took advantage of that with some players who have been hungry for an opportunity, and I think we're willing to step up and take on the challenge here this weekend.
Yes, Evan Friesen had a really good night on Sunday, so much so he is the Western Hockey League's Tempo Player of the Week. And it wasn't just on Sunday. He had a good weekend altogether. How does that whole thing, how does the league decide who gets the Tempo Player of the Week? Is that just they just look at straight stats, or do the teams nominate a player for consideration? How does that work?
That one will come through the league, but I think they'll evaluate not just his numbers from the weekend, but how did you do? Who did you play? And we played 4 games this past week. Had a couple of assists on Tuesday night against Kelowna, and another huge win for these guys at home. Had the 3-point game done in Portland. Had the penalty shot, which is the first penalty shot goal since this group moved to Wenatchee last summer. And then obviously the 5-point 4-goal game on Sunday. I had a feeling it was coming, and it was good to see that one actually come for him, and to see him be rewarded for what he did for us this weekend.
We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. The Wild have now won 6 of 8. We knew they were going to start turning around and start playing some pretty good hockey. They're climbing up in the standings. Victoria in town Friday, Spokane in town on Saturday. We got about 2 minutes. Go ahead and do this chronologically. Victoria and then Spokane. What can fans look for?
With Victoria, you got a group that's pretty good on the road. They're, I think, 12-6-1. Away from the island. One of the best rookies in the league, and Keaton Vierhoff, he was just named the league's Rookie of the Month yesterday. And they've got a group, they're prone to close games right now. They've played more overtime games than any team in the league. So this one I would expect to be a tight one. It's Grandparents' Night. Papa Murphy's is our sponsor on Friday nights. So. And
real quickly before I forget, let's give Kenta some love, because he's going to be back in town. He was a big fan favorite. He was going to be, of course, with the Royals on Friday, but still, he's going to get a big ovation.
He'll be back in town. Hayden Moore played for us last year. He'll be back in town with Victoria as well. It was hard to see Kenta go. It was hard to see Daniel go, and Kenta will be back with the guys coming up this weekend. They're on a long road swing, hitting the mainland here, so they'll be traveling around the U.S. division. Our game will be part of a long road trip for them.
Spokane Chiefs, you got about 45 seconds.
Spokane going to bring one of the best teams in the league into the building. A couple of hard-fought games. The last time we played them right after Christmas, and played them really well right before Christmas as well. That one's our big one. Guns and Hoses Night is on Saturday. We play at 6. Cops and Firefighters play at 4. 1 ticket gets you your seat for both games. Doors open at 3:30. Live and silent jersey auction that night. It's sold out back-to-back nights, so you want to get your tickets preferably now.
Yeah, Guns and Hoses sells out every year because it's fun to watch people who can't skate fall down. We're going to take a break. When we come back, your weather forecast. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley.
Enjoy a simpler time and place where the holidays bring family and friends closer together. Chelan Cellars and Sorrento's Restaurante on the shores of Lake Chelan. Join us this holiday season.
You're invited to celebrate Winterfest at Lake Chelan. Enjoy sparkling lights, local wine tasting, and fun for all ages. It's a great time to start a new holiday tradition at Washington's Winter Wonderland. More information at lakechelan.com.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. With durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all. You need the Kubota construction lineup. Right now, write it off a lot and write it off your taxes for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $4,000.
Community is more than just a place. It's the people, stories, and connections we share. At the Wenatchee World, we're your neighbors, your storytellers, and your trusted voice. From uncovering the issues that matter most to celebrating the moments that bring us together. We deliver the stories that keep the community moving forward. The Wenatchee World, your community voice, here every day.
Continues to snow lightly here in the Wenatchee Valley, 30 degrees, not really sticking to the roadway. The picture that you see behind me is actually out in Ephrata. You can tell because you can see the Ephrata Hilton and the Ephrata Dome. Yeah, it continues to snow lightly. This was not really in the forecast. It's kind of popped up there. It's going to taper off here in the next 45 minutes to an hour or so. And then after that, clouds and fog. However, there's another band of snow, a very rapidly moving system. It's a quick shortwave. It's going to come in. It's going to come out on Friday. I wanted to show you this one more time from the National Weather Service. This is what we have in store for us tomorrow. Our best chance of precipitation tomorrow is really going to be in the morning hours, basically between 6 and 9 tomorrow morning. 6 and 9 tomorrow morning. It'll be a rain-snow mix with the possibility, and it's a small one, but I need to mention it, possibility of some light freezing rain for the Wenatchee Valley. Now, the better possibility for some light freezing rain is actually going to be farther out in the Columbia Basin on both sides, both north and south of the I-90 corridor and up on the Highway 2 corridor. So that's a possibility of some light freezing rain in some locations that you see there in the pink circled area. I don't think we're going to get any freezing rain. We're certainly going to get a little bit of a rain-snow mix. Then it switches over to just plain rain, and then it ends all together. I mean, I told you this is a very rapidly moving system. It's going to come in, it's going to come out. The snow level is going to be a little too high for us to get snow here in the Wenatchee Valley. But as you can see, if you're traveling into the mountain passes, more snow and even more snow up in the Methow Valley. They've had a lot of snow in Mazama and Winthrop and Twisp and that whole area up there this year, more than just about anybody else. So let's get to it in detail from the National Weather Service. Again, the light and misty snow that's coming down right now should be tapering off in the not too distant future. After that, we just deal with the clouds and the fog, and typical mid-January weather will top off at 35, which is exactly what we got to yesterday. Snow level tonight, 3,200 feet. Just lots of clouds. Dense fog forms again, 31 for the overnight low. As I mentioned before, a rain-snow mix between 6 and 9 tomorrow morning, and then it tapers off to just plain rain. There'll be a period of just rain for about an hour tomorrow morning, and then that ends, and then the sun comes out. We'll top off at 41 on Friday. That is very warm. Our normal high this time of the year, by the way, is 32. So that's pretty warm. Friday night, the only story there is going to be wind. It's going to be a little breezy on Friday night as the system exits our area. It's also going to scour out the skies and give us sunshine on Saturday and a high of 43. Sunshine on Sunday and a high of 40. Pretty sunny on Monday and Tuesday too, with a slight cool down. But after the rain tomorrow morning, that's it for the precipitation. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.